How's it guys, this is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. Now in this video, I'll be taking you through my very own transfer plan for the upcoming Game Week 5. So if you guys' international break has been absolutely outstanding, mine wasn't too shabby, got married, also went on honeymoon, but don't worry, it's all strapped in to FPL from now on. So if you guys are coming back relaxed, we're going to get back into my actual team review from Game Week 4. I know it feels like it was forever ago. Going to take a look at how many points I got in Game Week 4 before turning the attention to Game Week 5 and my transfer plan. Now, the reason I've actually delayed this video for as long as possible is because now the international break has concluded. Thursday and Friday, the press conferences will be flowing freely and we'll be getting a ton of news from the managers. So I will update the videos as we do go by, but the team selection is probably only going to come on Friday after we get confirmation of who's actually back from the international break. But we can also plan some transfers for the time being. That's exactly what we'll be doing in this video. So sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So as mentioned, going to be going over a quick review of Game Week 4. I know it feels like forever ago. The international break has been quite a long one, and it's never nice to start the season off with an international break. But unfortunately, we did go into the international break with a red arrow, 73 points, almost bang on the average for Game Week 4, with a Game Week rank of about 5.0 million. So with a current total points of 269, we're currently sitting at 255k, but compared to last season, I'll definitely take the start to the season. In the comments down below, let me know how many points you guys got in Game Week 4. Did you guys go into the international break happy or sad, and where are you guys sitting in the overall ranks? Now to refresh your memory, I actually used 2 free transfers before Game Week 4 and therefore only have 1 free transfer for Game Week 5. I do however still have a lot of money left in the bank, 2.1 million, so quite a big upgrade can be made. So let's go over our bench, and Game Week 4 was actually a week where there was a couple talking points. The biggest talking point of course is a massive 12-point appearance from Archer, the new signing for Sheffield United. Now did I expect him to actually score this many points? Obviously not. I didn't even know if he was going to start and play a full 90 minutes. But he did that and he also exceeded it. So if you guys did manage to get those 12 points off the bench, congrats on that one. Even saw some managers over on Twitter actually start Archer, but they were quite far and few between. He wasn't the only points though on the bench. We also had Turner with 5 points, whereas Baldock and Saliba only got 1 and 2. So let's go on to our starting goalkeeper, because that can be a little bit of a debate here. Johnston only scoring the 1-point appearance. Was it better to actually go for Turner? Yes, 100%. But just remember that he did face Chelsea and I own quite a few attackers from them. So would I have actually started Turner? No ways. I was hoping that Johnston got more than Pickford, but they actually matched each other in Game Week 4. Now defensive department started off quite badly with Ben Shaw only getting the 1-point appearance, picks up a yellow card, also conceded against Nottingham Forest, and I honestly thought this might be a whole fixture for him. But that's where FPL is kind of a very funny game at the end of the day. The easy fixtures, Chilwell gets 1 point, but the harder games, he gets an absolute haul. But I think at this stage of the season, everyone kind of owns Chilwell at the moment, but still would have loved some more points from him. Likely though, the player that we did bring in was going to be Udogie from Spurs. We're considering kind of Pedro Porro versus Udogie. Both ended up getting an assist, and Udogie finished on 5 points. Now I'll take those 5 points because when they conceded in the first 5 minutes, I think in that fixture, I was absolutely dreading this transfer. But luckily the attacking threat that we brought him in for actually backed him up. But it's slightly concerning though that Spurs are conceding so many kind of XG chances and not getting many clean sheets. So Udogie's almost an attack at the end of the day. But he was a transfer in, one of the 2 for Bayer, a 4.0 defender, and that allowed me to bench Saliba and get those extra points. The last player was even more painful. It was a Stupinan from Brighton. What ends up happening? They're winning 3-0 against Newcastle, a super tough team. Callum Wilson ends up scoring in the 92nd minute, and a Stupinan wasn't subbed off then. So he went from a few points to 2 very quickly, and once again that stoppage time this season is an absolute killer. So I really loved those points because playing him was a risk. Newcastle, a great kind of attack, wasn't expecting a clean sheet. What ends up happening, they actually could have kept one, except for a late chance from Newcastle. So overall the defense was pretty terrible this game week. Johnston 1 point, Chilwell 1 point, only Udogie with the attacking return. Let's hope the midfield department kind of spices it up a little bit. Going to start off with Mbumo, who also scored a late stoppage time winner. Wasn't a win in terms of the game, was actually 2-2, but a winner in our books because he actually ended on 8 points. So that goal took him up to a few bonus points, so he went from a blank to 8 points really fast. So super happy with him, kind of a very nice differential even at this stage of the season, so I do love having him in my FPL team. Unfortunately, the same can't be said about our next transfer in, Raheem Sterling. We brought him in for Martinelli. Martinelli got an assist against United, where Sterling ended up blanking in this easy fixture. Same fixture as Ben Chilwell, really expected more, but Nottingham Forest actually playing decently at the moment, so let's hope this was a once-off game week for Chelsea. I will say that Sterling had his chances though, had a few kind of goal chances, but also had an assisting chance that Jackson really should have put away. So we could have actually had a few more points from Raheem Sterling. Yes, the kind of Martinelli assist is a little bit annoying, but the bigger thing was the other transfer in there we could have gone for Maddison ended up scoring in that Spurs game. So not only was Sterling kind of outperformed by Martinelli, was also outperformed by Maddison, and that was a real 50-50 in terms of who to bring in. So if you guys did go for Maddison, well done, but I guess over the next couple game weeks, if Sterling does outperform him, that's all that I wanted at the end of the day. Then the last kind of Arsenal midfielder standing after Martinelli's transfer out is going to be Bukayo Saka, ended up getting an assist in that game, in a lovely Arsenal win 3-1 against United. So I'll take these points, but if they are going to be scoring 3 goals, would have loved for Saka to be involved in more than one, but I guess it was a little bit of a tougher game. But no complaints here in terms of kind of the assist, but I guess he was outperformed by Odegaard as well as Martinelli. So slightly annoying out of the Arsenal midfielders that I own the lowest scoring one, but I do back his consistency. Then finally our United double up who actually got us some more points than Saka did. Even though they only scored 1 goal, at least Rashford scored that goal, a lovely left inside cut that you guys have seen in previous games. So I don't really know how he was afforded this space on his right foot, but I guess he's so good at it, and he ended up on 7 points. Now Bruno also had a few chances in that game, overall thought that he didn't have the worst game in the world, but unfortunately FPL points to show for it. But I guess if you had to split the kind of 7 and 2, if you were to say that Rashford and Bruno both returned kind of maybe 4 and 5 points, I would have taken that at the end of the day. But you guys might be wondering where all my points came from in Game Week 4, or like myself, like yourself, it was from one man and one man only, Erling Haaland with a massive 40 points. But everyone captained him at the end of the day. If you guys didn't captain Erling Haaland, would have been a little bit of a tough one to take, but this really wasn't the fixture to kind of avoid him. But as I said, everyone kind of owns him, the effective ownership was sky high, so let's move on to our last attacker. Now nothing much came from our last attacker, Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea. I don't really know why he keeps on getting yellow cards for complaining to the referee. Someone needs to tell him that he's going to be yellow carded for that because he's got at least 3 this season. But more annoying was the fact that he missed a really easy kind of chance off a Sterling assist, and if he scored that, would have been a massive points. But it seems like he might be the kind of new Darwin Núñez, a massive XG, not a lot of goals to actually show for it, but at least he is getting chances. So let's just hope in the future game weeks that he actually returns those chances, converts, maybe scores a few, as then I'll be happy as an FPL manager. But as I said, the biggest thing for my team from Game Week 4 was that easy chance missed from a Sterling assist, as that would have led to so many more FPL points. So besides Erling Haaland, not much came from my other kind of FPL options in Bumo and Rashford kind of redeeming the midfield department, Udogie our transfer in getting us 5 points, but elsewhere it was just blank central. But let me know if your game week went any better than mine. Are you on more than 73 points? Are you less than 73 points? And where are you sitting in the overall ranks? Now before we get on to the actual Game Week 5 transfer plan, I want to give you guys the context as always of how my team selection is currently looking. So I'll be wrapping through these players quite quickly, talking about fixtures, are they good fixtures, are they bad fixtures, could I actually transfer them out or keep them, and then conclude with my actual transfer plan in the next talking point. Now just a reminder here that I do only have 1 free transfer and 2.1 million left in the bank, so we can make an upgrade if we want to. So let's go over our bench department, and there's kind of a little bit of a benching headache at the moment. It's going to be, should we bench Estupiñán against United away or actually play him? Because I guess he has the highest ceiling from a defensive point of view. Now at the current moment, I do expect kind of United to score. That's why I own Rashford, I own Bruno. I think they're great attacking options at the moment. And Brighton's defense hasn't been that secure. But as you guys know, Estupiñán offers that massive attacking threat. Could be a goal, 2 goals, an assist, a goal and an assist. The opportunities are absolutely endless. The one thing that makes it even better is that United aren't defending that well at the current moment, conceding 3 to Arsenal on the weekend, and not looking great before that. But yes, at the current moment, I am benching Estupiñán, but I will show you guys my defense and why it's quite a close decision. Then the other 2, Archer and Baldock. Yes, I could play Archer, but at 4.5 million, I'm very comfortable benching him. If he has to come off the bench, so be it. But I currently have him second. Then I am benching Johnston, and that's because I am playing Turner between the sticks. He has Burnley at home, a much better game than Aston Villa away, and I'm sure that you guys can agree with me. So what makes this even better is that Nottingham Forest have a very good kind of XG conceded. Turner looks like a great goalkeeper at the moment. Fingers crossed he doesn't get dropped. Now let's go over our defensive department. At the current moment, I'm playing Ben Chilwell against Bournemouth away. It's a very nice fixture on paper. I actually expect Bournemouth to score on this one, but Ben Chilwell offers massive attacking threat. Same could be said about Udogie from Spurs, except that he has a chance of a clean sheet. Very high chance in my opinion, should be good, and therefore he's 100% going to play this fixture. Now the only play I'm a little bit skeptical about is Saliba against Everton away. This is an easy game on paper, the clean sheet should be there, but I guess the attacking threat is not there, so the highest ceiling isn't as much. And that's why I'm kind of debating, should I go for Saliba, should I go for Estupiñán? It's kind of a higher floor versus a higher ceiling. Currently I'm going for the Arsenal defender. But the defensive department looks absolutely outstanding for Game Week 5. I mean Bournemouth, Sheffield United, Everton away, Burnley at home, all 4 fixtures could be clean sheets. And let's move on to our midfield department. I've got a Bumo against Newcastle away. Tougher game on paper, but if they can take a page out of Brighton's book, Let's hope that Mbuma ends up scoring. But not that much expectation is on his shoulders, is a cheaper price tag, don't expect him to score in every game. But the way Brentford are attacking, I hope that he does. Now instead of going right, let's go to the left hand side. Bukayo Saka, Everton away, great game on paper, you guys know Everton on a great defense. Hopefully you guys aren't a Pickford owner. But I guess if you guys do own Pickford at least this week, you'll get some saviour from Saka if he does score a goal. Fingers crossed he outperforms Odegaard and Martinelli. Then we have newly transferred in Raheem Sterling, Bournemouth away, chance to redeem himself. Let's hope that he outscores Maddison, but it's going to be close, as Spurs have a great fixture as well. The big plus though is that Sterling had the international break off. Let's just hope that he was training, Pochettino was giving him a lot of tips, and let's hope that Game Week 5 is the week to showcase that. Then the final two options in our midfield department, the double up, the United assets, Rashford and Bruno, Brighton at home. Good fixture on paper here, even though Brighton usually are quite a strong side. Defensively this season, they haven't been that great. Now I'm just happy this is a home game for United. Both players have had kind of good international breaks, and let's hope they're fit and firing for Game Week 5. Then our final department, the forwards, kind of picked themselves. Erling Haaland, our captain, perma-captain, at least for the next few game weeks. West Ham away isn't the easiest fixture in the world, but it's good enough to captain Haaland. Then last up is going to be Jackson against Bournemouth away. Fingers crossed he doesn't get another yellow card because he's so close to a suspension. And if he converts at least one chance this game week, I'm going to be happy. The starting 11 I feel is the strongest. Yes, maybe a Stupinan could replace Saliba if we want to, but overall the starting 11 doesn't look too bad. Now this kind of comes down to that one free transfer. I could actually bank the transfer this week, probably the most reliable option. But if you guys can recommend a move, what would you guys do? But let's go on to the actual transfer plan for the upcoming Game Week 5. As mentioned, I could actually just bank a transfer, only one free transfer that allows me to roll it to next week, unlike maybe some of you managers. So I will say the kind of most probable situation is that I do bank a transfer this week unless we do get some injury news on Thursday or Friday. The starting 11 looks pretty decent. I even have a benching dilemma. But there are two transfers if I want to go slightly more aggressive. These are transfers I'd probably recommend you guys do if you do have two free transfers and can't afford to actually roll one. The first move is going to be a player that got our attention because of a hat-trick, but you guys can replace him with the Maddison if you want to, but I'm going to cover Heung-min Son in this talking point. So between Son and Maddison, it's kind of consistency versus explosiveness. We saw this kind of in Game Week 4, a hat-trick versus one goal, but over the season Maddison's been more consistent. So if you guys do want to play aggressively, I do think that Heung-min Son could be the week to do it. Here's Sheffield United at home, great fixture on paper, then Arsenal and Liverpool who like to be counter-attacked. So while with Maddison, maybe Arsenal-Liverpool will be a tougher game for Heung-min Son, always loves to run behind those defenses, and those are really plum fixtures to do that. So if you guys are looking to replace a midfielder, this week it's quite tough. I wouldn't probably replace Saka as he has Everton away, so I'll probably go for Rashford as Brighton at home. Now would I want to take Rashford out this week? Probably not. I still feel like he's a great option. That's almost happy that I only have one free transfer, and then I can roll this to next week. So if I had to recommend a player to take out, probably would be Rashford. If you have Bruno, enough coverage as a United option, so I'll be willing to lose one. But do I like this move this week? I don't exactly know. I think it could backfire quite easily. But in terms of Game Week 5, Son definitely has the better fixture. The next transfer I want to talk about is going to be a popular one next week and the week after. It's going to be the Newcastle defense, and the current favourite is going to be Trippier. So let's look at those fixtures. Sheffield United next week, Burnley, and it only gets better after that, I do promise, as Newcastle had a super tough run to start the season with. Now would I do this move this week? Maybe not. I feel like Brentford at home is slightly tougher of a game week, and that's why next week I might do this move. But what you guys can do if you have two free transfers is just preempt this move. Instead of doing it next week, do it this week. You could even bench Trippier if you don't like Brentford. Now in terms of replacements I would go for, it's probably going to be Saliba. Yes, that Brighton have some tougher fixtures, but I do believe Saliba has the lowest ceiling, and that's why I would take him out. Now if you guys can't afford Trippier, you go for a Shaw, a Botman. They're all viable options. Just make sure that Botman's returned from his injury. But out of these two moves, I can't really see myself doing either of them because I only have one free transfer, can easily roll it. But if you guys can't, I think these two moves look quite strong. But if you are doing other moves, let me know in the comments down below what transfers are you guys doing for Game Week 5. Always love to see what you guys are planning. But this is basically going to wrap the video, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Please don't forget to like if you did and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I'll be seeing you guys for the ultimate guide tomorrow and the team selection coming up on Friday. But I'm only signing off. It's been Dayvy FPL and I'm out. Cheers, bye.